Familiar issues dogged the leaders of Queensland's major political parties as they participated in the Sky News Courier Mail People's Forum in Brisbane, but the Premier convinced significantly more voters with her performance. The Adani megameme, deals with One Nation and cost of living pressures dominated discussion at the Broncos Leagues Club, where Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk, Opposition leader Tim Nicholls and One Nation's Queensland leader Steve Dixon put their case to voters. Ms Palaszczuk was declared the resounding winner by those in attendance, with 60% saying they would be voting for the Premier. Both Mr Nicholls on 12% and Mr Dixon on 10% were beaten by the undecided cohort of 18%. Ms Palaszczuk appeared relaxed and conversational during the debate, while several of Mr Dixon's comments, especially about politicians working together for Queensland, received applause from the audience. The issue of Adani has loomed large over the campaign and it came up quickly during the forum, with audience member Craig asking the leaders what the impact from the mine would be on the Great Barrier Reef. Ms Palaszczuk insisted there were environmental controls in place to hold Adani to account, while also ensuring the mine could bring jobs to Queensland. Mr Nicholls also said the reef and the mine could coexist, while Mr Dixon wanted the billion-dollar rail line from the mine to the coal port built by the state government, so the money could remain in Queensland hands. Mr Nicholls had two major stumbles during the night, on state debt and whether he would accept One Nation support if they hold a balance of power after the November 25 poll. On that point Mr Nicholls demurred, saying repeatedly it was up to voters who they elected. People should be able to vote how they want. We will deal with the parliament and the elected representatives that the people put forward, he said. There were murmurs from the crowd over his repeated attempts to sidestep the issue, with one yelling yes or no. Ms Palaszczuk was more firm on whether she would accept One Nation's support, saying no to laughter from the audience. For his part, Mr Dixon simply said he would work with anyone who would work with him, warning he wasn't a soft touch when it came to putting his position forward. Mr Nicholls also refused to say what he would do to reduce state debt. He ruled out selling assets or laying off public sector workers, but refused to commit to other measures. What we've said is we'll maintain a balance over the economic cycle, he said. Mr Dixon concluded proceedings with a left field call for all three leaders to be interviewed about their policies while hooked up to a lie detector, which drew chuckles from the audience and is unlikely to be agreed to. In her closing statement, the Premier called on Queenslanders to trust her for a second term. What I can promise to you is good, decent government, she said. Mr Nicholls meanwhile said he had a vision for the state which had given his family so much. Up